This video is going to be about YouTube's complicity in ElsaGate, finger family videos, and lately in Canto. Family-friendly content on YouTube, coppa violations, the bot utility that YouTube uses for autoplay up next, and other algorithmic-based things that tell your browser that you're watching things, whether you did or not. Firefox add-on example I'm going to be using to try to turn it off. Version 1.0.6 of Turn Off YouTube Autoplay Next and Annotations. That's not supposed to work the way it is, but we're going to take advantage of it. But up next, algorithm is what we're going to cover first. I want to point out something that while I'm screen grabbing this, YouTube's algorithm is now making it to where I can't demonstrate this as easily, which is a bit suspicious. Now, I'm going to put the video very nearly at the end of the video content at the 33-minute and 14-second mark. This also works with YouTube shorts that are very, very small that are being put into long, long playlists and getting hundreds of thousands of views in only 2 weeks, or in this case, 1.6 million. As it plays, it should give us the up next algorithm thing, but it may not because YouTube is being snarky today. Bright colors, demonstrating toys, and then we get that. And you have to hit cancel. If you turn off the autoplay, sometimes it turns it on again. YouTube is very aggressive about running this. Now I'm going to turn on a specific tool. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to enable Turn Off YouTube Autoplay Next Annotations, enabling it. Now I'm going to grab the link I was using and see if it works again. It'll probably fail, but let's see what it tries to do. Now, number one, it's supposed to prevent the thing from being able to play up next or even show the algorithm or there we go. And now it's going to autoplay from the beginning, probably, to be snarky about it. So again, we go to there, 33 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, let's get a little further along. Let's see if it tries to bring up the user interface where it does up next. Let's see if it tries to. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Now it brings up this interface where it won't try to autoplay next video, the up next function. Now, I'm going to leave a link to it, but let me explain how to make this program work. This is all of the settings for it. Get ready for the awesome user interface that someone put into this. Disable autoplay and hide up next video. That's it. It literally just turns it off. It may not have been intended to do it, but it works. It stops autoplaying. It won't run the next video in this sequence, which will be this one. If you type in Canto, Finger Family, and a bunch of other things, you'll find either long or short videos that are designed to put up lots of advertisements throughout the video. Now we're going to have a little heart-to-heart. But again, right now, this is only one example of a Firefox add-on that will defeat YouTube wanting to run variations on autoplay. There are currently 4 or 5, depending on what platform you're on. And this up next algorithm one is the worst one because even if you turn it off, if you clear your cookies, it turns it back on. It looks for every excuse to turn it back on. Now, why is this something that would be problematic being called family friendly? Why is it related to ElsaGate, coppa, and, finger family videos, and from some reason in Canto? Okay. If something was originally labeled family friendly, it would be visible whether you're logged in or not. It would have the largest possible audience and therefore be the most monetizable content, which means you would be marketing things to everybody who watched it. It meant that it was almost impossible to get demonetized. YouTube encouraged people to do it because they wanted more monetizable content on the website. Now let me explain how this works a little bit. Your channel puts up YouTube family-friendly content. It makes it almost impossible to demonetize, so you have an assured income. You put up video content and they pay you. Now, where did they get that money? Advertisers want their ads seen on YouTube because it's a popular website. So what they do is they hand YouTube some money and say, put our ads on videos, but only put it on videos that are family-friendly or won't ever have a demonetization event. Okay. Then what happens? Well, YouTube decides to play a game. They decide to gamify their own system by putting a bot routine in that automatically plays videos. Now, I want you to think about that. Let's say I set up a channel and put up short videos that are 1 minute long. Let's say they're YouTube Shorts. And I can get 1 million views a day if I just make it to where I have a bank of computers in my garage playing back the video in multiple tabs on multiple copies of different browsers, maybe having to go through a lot of work to make an algorithm for it that would just reload the video every 5 minutes. Well, YouTube has to fight that because I'm obviously trying to self-deal and give myself monetization money. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. All I have to do is set up hundreds and hundreds of channels and open them up and not set them up to be authenticated, but make it to where they just don't log in. They're just random users visiting the website, watching family-friendly content that doesn't require that I log in, and I don't have to write a bot to auto-load the videos. YouTube wrote their own. It's called Up Next, or the Autoplay. But how does that benefit me? Because I'm running all the channels that are playing, because all of them have a similar title. I only have to get it started by playing about 10 videos that have a similar title with similar words like Finger Family, Elsa, Encanto, something like that. And eventually I'll get stuck in a rabbit hole where it keeps playing videos like that. And all I have to do is set up one channel after another with videos like that I'm monetizing because they're impossible not to monetize, and have them play continually. And eventually YouTube figures out that any one of those channels has violated a rule, and they kill it. But I still get monetization money out of it, and then I go ahead and do it on another channel. This is exactly what happened during ElsaGate. This is happening currently, as we speak. Even if you try to turn off Autoplay and Up Next, if it has any excuse it can find to turn it back on, it does. Why would YouTube do that? Because just like you get money if you gamify the system, YouTube is also getting the money. That's where the money comes from. If YouTube is handing someone money, it's because they got paid as well. As long as it's something that's plausibly deniable about being inappropriate, which obviously some of this isn't, they get paid by the advertisers. A long time ago, cancel culture people, or cancel vultures as I call them, decided to cancel people by saying, don't monetize them, don't give them ad revenue. Well, YouTube had to fight that, so they started shooting down channels. Then these family-friendly content channels came up. Well, you can't possibly cancel culture that. And then people wrote bot routines to put up random crap with any video with any content in it and just gamified the title. All of those videos have titles with keywords in them. They make no sense at all. The videos make almost as little sense. Then people started emulating these nonsense videos because they were getting millions of views in a week. I mean, I've seen that too. And it doesn't matter how badly they monetize the channel. If you're getting 1 million views in 2 weeks, you're getting money out of it. And if you set up dozens of channels, which is literally the easiest thing on earth to do if you do it right, all you have to do is make it to where lots of people view it. And again, they don't even have to make it to where they spend money setting up a bank of computers in a garage. YouTube runs this bot routine for your computer. You're part of the botnet. And it's YouTube's algorithm that decides you will watch this, and they will drag you kicking and screaming into watching this crap. Trust me, if you let this run long enough, you'll eventually see objectionable material that was featured as examples in Congress for violation of COPPA in 2018. And I mean that. Literally, one of the videos, a video depicting Adolf Hitler as a ballerina with a Hitler head, disemboweling Minnie Mouse, came up about 14 videos later after I typed in Encanto because I was curious about some meme about it, and suddenly I'm watching Adolf Hitler disembowel Minnie Mouse. Now, I'm not kidding. That literally dead-ass happened. Now, and I only looked that up because somebody did a TED Talk in 2018 exposing this about YouTube. So let's review. Yes, this video will be demonetized. Yes, it will get flagged for quote-unquote misinformation because YouTube has to have an excuse for this. YouTube is doing ElsaGate, Finger Family, COPPA violations currently by literally implementing the same algorithm over and over again that causes it. And again, nobody would have uploaded that crap if the bot didn't drag you kicking and screaming into it. If you click, I swear to God, one of them, all of your recommendeds will be this crap. And the only way to get rid of it, coinkadinkly, is if I erase all my cookies, log out, or log in with a completely isolated browser instance. But YouTube doesn't like that because then they can't figure out what to target me for, which is what I want, obviously. I don't want them to target me. But that also means that they'll disable my ability to disable their bot routine. It will run the up next algorithm constantly. It will not let go. Autoplay is the reason we have this. If you're wondering why you're seeing a bunch of videos that seem child-friendly, that have grotesquely inappropriate content, or keep escalating towards it, just like what they complained about before, that's the reason. And again, the reason it happened partially is YouTube's algorithm suggesting things, and then later on, it outright making you watch it. Now, a lot of you out there might have children and set up the video playback for what you think is family-friendly content on YouTube. And eventually you come home, back in 2018, and maybe even today, and find them crying because they just saw Adolf Hitler murder Minnie Mouse. Why do I keep bringing up that example? Because there's 12 copies of it now. Because it kept coming up. Now, I'm not freaking out like a couple of people have in the past that are conspiracy theorists about this at all. I'm explaining that I'm getting tired of having to turn this thing off every time I log in, and then it just ignore it and run an autoplay anyway. It's especially egregious when I'm running my browser, trying to have it pause a video, and it just randomly starts playing back another video. Now, this is part and parcel of it trying to play back advertisements I don't want to look at, but this is different. It's putting up other people's content, not advertisements, and it's haranguing me because I'm pausing the video? And of course, the immediate reaction you're going to get out of people is, well, there's something wrong with your browser. No, it didn't matter which browser I ran. And it only matters which browser I run if I'm trying to turn it off. Again, peace and quiet, control over what my computer does, not being blamed for watching this, not having this be part of my supposed search history. And by the way, this also happens on Google when you're trying to look up something and suddenly it brings up something totally unrelated. I'm not even going to mention what it brought up last time I looked up something completely innocuous. I was looking up paper clips, no joke. And it brought up, I don't even know why. And again, it's the same thing. When you let an automated routine do this, it's friendly to other automated routines. And again, the complaint that you would get from Google is you were using automated bots or robot routines to gamify the system. But YouTube does that as well. So does Google. And again, as long as there's plausible deniability, the advertising companies think they're showing ads to people when half the time they're showing it to children who are trying to figure out what the hell they just saw. Adolf Hitler just killed Minnie Mouse. Or nobody, because it's just a computer sitting somewhere in a basement playing back the videos. Or worse, you set it up to play back, Pepe Pig stuff, and after a while you come back and it's showing horror videos to your kid that are mislabeled as being child-friendly. And every time one of them gets relabeled so it won't play back, someone sets up another YouTube channel and keeps making money. The fault of this is not with us, or with us clicking something questionable. It is the fault of the bot on YouTube consistently doing this, and today being aggressive about me not being able to turn it off. Today's example add-on for Firefox, currently, that may change in 10 minutes, works. It was made about April Fool's Day last year, but it still works, and it will turn off YouTube Autoplay next and Annotations. But all I had to turn off with Autoplay next, and it does up next as well, and it works right now. And YouTube will eventually defeat it if it finds out it's being used, and that's it. Now, I want to point out a couple of problems. Number one, that one works right now is not a joke. It probably won't work in a week. Next, every other one that was explicitly trying to turn off this feature that I hate failed to work today. And it's really odd that one from April Fool's Day last year or thereabouts works better. Next, it is kind of notable that this keeps getting to be a problem. And again, all I did was let it run for 10 minutes and suddenly I'm watching Adolf Hitler murder Minnie Mouse. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You will need it.